Not at all. All righty. Let's see.
Of black people, for the love of black people, please stop. I know all across Louisiana, all across the South, and all over the country, we're hurting. If you heard about Alton Sterling, Trayford Cullen, or Ronald Greene, please know that God will see us through. We just can't give up, y'all. Keep fighting. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God through. So test the faith. I know you are strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. Brothers are dying and sisters are too. Children all over the place just can't get through. But hold on.
Did you give me some double A batteries? Double A batteries?
Don't you be afraid.
I need some for my door.
What's going on? The Lord will see you through. I know that He will. No, He must come through, 'cause He said it's in His will. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and He will see you through. It's a test of faith. I know you are strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. You're going through. Put your faith in God and He will see you through. It's a test of faith. I know you're strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. Police brutality has got us all abroad. It be happier than us. How can we go on if everybody's all in a fuss? About the color of my skin, it belongs to us. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and He will see you through. It's a test of faith. I know you're strong.
All righty. Thank you guys for joining in. I won't keep you much longer than I have to. I'm so sorry that I'm late. So sorry we're delayed. But you know what? As you guys know, delay is not denial. I'm asking that you would do me a favor, guys. I need you to like, share, and comment. It does not matter if you're coming from YouTube or if you're coming from Facebook. If you're coming from YouTube, do me a favor and subscribe. I believe this is going to be our very first live on YouTube. Let me go ahead and get this turned off. But again, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining on. I know it's going to be a very difficult conversation, a very difficult day. Narika, there is so many things happening. Unfortunately, and I'm hoping, guys, that this is going to be an opportunity for us to go case by case, situation by situation, and that I'm not overloading you all with information. But as you all know, last week there were 2 in custody shootings with the Lafayette Police Department. What's going on, cuz? Thank you for joining in. I need you guys to share this. Make sure that everybody in Lafayette sees this. There were 2 in custody police shootings. The police shot 2 people in Lafayette on this last week. One of them being Tyron Coates, who succumbed to his gunshot wounds. Yes, he did pass away as a result of being shot by the Lafayette Police Department. Now, you guys already know the situation that we've dealt with the Lafayette Police Department. You guys know that they are going to try to cover up whatever they can. We read the report from the Louisiana State Police Department, and that's a whole nother issue within itself, because as you guys do know, that situation, these people will say whatever they want to say and they will lie about it. The Louisiana State Police Department is not credible. They cannot be trusted to investigate anything. And the words of a mother who lost her child by the Baton Rouge City Police Department, she would not trust them to investigate a cat or a dog because they are not worth. They have shown themselves to not be a true to be of true integrity. So we are here now, and we're in a situation where we have to help a mother who has to bury her child because the the Lafayette City Police Department murdered him. They said that he was, they were in pursuit of a stolen vehicle. He then exited the vehicle and fled on foot. It was stated that he fell off of a structure while fleeing on foot, and they then released tasers on him. The report from the Louisiana State Police says that the Lafayette City Police Department released the taser. The taser hit the dog. Okay, the taser hit their canine dog. It is not clear on whether or not if what happened to the dog, but then the report goes on to say that he reached for a weapon, which they ordered him not to draw. Now, what we have question about is if he did draw a weapon, where is the weapon? Do we have where's the body cam footage that shows that he was visibly drawing a weapon? We want all of the body cam footage from that incident released. That is what we're demanding. And people may say, well, you guys are going to be in for a rude awakening because he was a criminal, this, that, and the other. I'm going to just shoot straight with you and let you know that we don't care anything about that. The only thing that we are concerned about is that the police officers did their jobs adequately and according to the law. And then if the law is not if the law is not what it should be, which we know it's not, it needs to be changed. Because why is it then, if they were doing everything right, that the body cam footage has not been released yet? Because I believe that it is clear that there will be public outrage once we see what happened. Did he pull his weapon because he was being attacked? Why would he then have been shot if he was running? Was he shot in his back? So many questions have to be answered that we don't have answers to. I'm asking that you join me every day except for Wednesdays at 6:30 as we journey upon what is happening. Yes, the cops tased their own canine dog, Narika. And as you know, those canines are considered more than human. The human is considered a valuable human life. It's not even considered anything more than a canine dog to these people. So I can only imagine the outrage that must have came from. And listen, we know who it is that did it. So what we need to know is what was his state of mind, because we know that there's public record of this person who that is clearly not he's clearly not a person who is rational. And so we need to know all of the name of the officer needs to be released. Now we have the information. Everybody has the information. Everybody knows who did it. So will the state police be transparent? And will the state police, because now the Louisiana State Police Department, who murdered and covered up the murder along with the governor, John Bell Edwards, covered up the murder of Ronald Greene, who was brutally beaten by the Louisiana State Police. So we need to know, will the Louisiana State Police then go ahead and release the footage? Because they're the ones doing the investigation. We know we can't get anything trustworthy out of the Lafayette City government. The Lafayette Consolidated Government today is under fire because it says that they fired an employee who said that his manager called him and another worker oh wow. Narika says the KATC News initial report stated that a canine dog was shot and made it appear as if the victim did it. Wow. So no, the victim, the Louisiana State Police report says that the police tased the dog because they deployed the taser and the taser hit the dog. Now the Louisiana State Police are not trustworthy, as we know, because they went ahead and they covered up the murder of Ronald Greene, said he died as a result of an accident, and they brutally beat him to death. The man was screaming, "I am not your brother. I am your brother." And then there are coons on TikTok who want to tell me I don't know the facts of the case. It is time now that and then let me tell you something. When these agents of white supremacy, these so-called black folks who find themselves getting in the way of the pursuit of justice, they're going to be exposed too. We're no longer preventing them from getting that exposure as well. Because you know why? They're damaging black people. They're damaging the growth of black people. I've never seen anything so disheartening and so, excuse me, guys, because I'm trying to make sure that we're going live on YouTube for the first time. So I'm trying to make sure that we have everything working there properly as well. So please forgive me if I'm not responding to both chats. This is all very, very new for me. So I appreciate you guys for doing what you're doing and being patient with me. But there's so many questions that we have. There's so many questions that we have, and we need to understand that we have the responsibility to make sure that our people are being treated fairly. Now, I don't know to what extent the Louisiana State Police are willing to go to prove that they are not who they used to be under their new leadership. But what we do know is that even the second in charge of the Louisiana State Police is also involved in this cover-up. And so we have got to find ourselves in this city, in the city of Lafayette, on watch. We've got to find ourselves as the stand guards on watch, because I'm telling you guys, right now we're in a very, very dangerous situation. We are in a situation where the city attorney has found himself able to almost discreetly start to charge black men and women, forgive me for saying it that way, young black children for crimes that they've committed the same way that they charge black men and women. In other words, the district attorney is saying that he will begin to charge 15 to 17-year-olds as adults for crimes, right? For heinous crimes. Well, then the next day he comes in and says, well, that's on a case-by-case situation. Now we know that white people, and I'm going to be plain and say there are racist white people who want to see this happen, because we understand that this will be, like Ange said, open season for them to charge our young black men and women, young black children. Excuse me for saying it that way. They want you to believe that they're men and women, and they don't want you to look at them as children, and I won't be a part of that. But they want you to believe that they're going to charge your children for crimes the same way that they're going to charge their own, and that's not the case. And they came out and told you yesterday that that's not the case, or day before yesterday. My friend Trey Francis with KTC reported on that. And guess what? Y'all don't want to know what's even crazier? If you go back and listen to the interview, Don Landry admits that he didn't even study, he didn't do any research, and he didn't do anything before he made this decision. So who is in his pockets? Who is in his pockets that's allowing him to make these types of decisions? As an attorney, you would think he knows better than to make a decision of this nature as a public official, and then would admit to a reporter on a record that he had not done the research. Landon, thank you for letting me borrow your cup. Excuse me. He would admit to an attorney that he had not done the research. We have got to get ourselves together. I'm reading the book, The Miseducation of the Negro. And what I'm finding is that there are so many tactics and things of that nature that are being used daily, still, that comes from the Willie Lynch syndrome. You got black people who are more worried about so-called black on black crime than they are about the injustices that are taking place systematically. You will never end black on black crime because it's not a real thing. Can we talk about that? You will never end black on black crime because it's not a real thing. You can't end black on black crime, so-called community violence, or that's what I call it. You can't end community violence if your community is still being oppressed. So you've let the oppressor make you believe that you need to tell your young people to stop killing each other, and you're going to spend your whole life acting as if you've done something because you told the young people to stop killing each other. You put on a few peace rallies, and it ain't done nothing for the community because the community is still oppressed. You've not given them the tools that is needed to come out of oppression. You've not woken them up to the reality of the fact that they are being oppressed. You have not navigated with your privilege and power to say that you will not allow for the oppression to continue. The community is only doing what they want done. That's exactly right. The community is doing what it was conditioned to do. Conditioning is real. Brainwashing is real. See, that's how some of us go understand it. You were told, and if we use sexuality, because since so many people want me to talk about it, here we go. This is an opportunity. I'm going to talk about it. Many people think that you can use a brainwashing technique, so to speak, to convert someone out of their sexuality. In other words, meaning that you can convince them by certain, whether it's a physical brainwave shocks, or whether you put them in these conversion classes for years, conversion therapy and things of that nature. There is a belief that you can change someone's sexuality. And so we have basically been conditioned. Yes, it says all races commit crimes within their same race majority of the time. People need to do the research. Black on black crime is a narrative coined by the oppressor as a distraction. Exactly. And then Heather says psychological warfare. That's exactly what it is. Because there has been a conditioning. I need you to read the Willie Lynch letter. My friend Kevin put me on. Of course, as a kid, you hear about it, and he was just putting me on to some recent stuff. And I was connecting it. But I've recently been reading the book, The Miseducation of the Negro, and it speaks a lot about this conditioning, where it makes you believe that because you have a little bit of education, or a little bit more than what your friends may have or what your counterparts may have, then somehow, some way, somebody just replied to me on Facebook and said, what type of cover-up? What type of cover-up? The governor was aware that Ronald Greene had been brutally beaten and murdered. And the details, if somebody could please text me a screenshot of those text messages, send it to my messenger, and I'm gonna prop it up here. So somebody from the team, I know you guys are on, send me a screenshot of that. I'm gonna prop it up on here so that people can see. I hope I'm not slurping loud. But somehow the oppressor has you thinking that you have more knowledge than the rest of your community. Somehow the oppressor has you thinking because you were able to come out of poverty, and you were able to overcome your circumstances, that everybody has the tools and the ability to do what you did. Let's see. I'm sorry. I missed the comment. Kelvin says, love doesn't have co-malfeasance cover up. Kelvin, you have to retype that. You have to retype that. So poverty is part of the reason why we are still in the situation we are in. Poverty has us stuck. Poverty has us stuck in this mental, psychological cage that has us, thank you, Heather, that has us stuck. And so When there is no economical growth, when there is no urgency for education. Oh, it's malfeasance. Yes, it is. When there is no urgency for education, when there is no love for the community, love for the people, then there is a problem. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do all kind of stuff at the same time, but there is a problem. So our people have been poorly educated. Our people have been put into an education system that simply does not work for them. So we have got to find ourselves in a place that we are calling for what is right and educating our people. So you want to talk about the Village 337 Community Initiative Plan. We have decided that we're going to go ahead and implement a plan within our community to make to educate our community, to grow resources within our community, to find the resources that we need. Heather, I can't do it on my computer, so could you please crop out any type of information that may be from someone else? Thank you. If somebody, whoever can do that, please. So we have got to be able to educate our own community. Now, I'm grateful because my church, the Gethsemane Church of God in Christ, has its own school where we have our own educators who are qualified, well-equipped, and ready to educate our students, who will take the time with our students, who will continue to love on our students despite what people say and think about them. Even though people say that they are nothing, this, that, and the other, we have that there. And so we have that where we can take the opportunity to educate our kids, even though they're having this miseducation in the public system. But what we need to go, the Village 337 is here to take it a step further and to politically educate the people, not just the young people, but the old people. We're here to say, listen, I know some of you don't believe in the voting system. I know some of you say, I don't want to vote. I'm not going to vote for nobody out this, that, and the other. Well, great. That's fine. What we need you to understand, though, is that in order for you to be able to help us remove a crooked, corrupt politician out of office, like we should have with John Bel Edwards when we first initiated that with the new Black Panther Party under the chairwoman, Sister Crystal Muhammad, we should have been able to remove him from office, put up somebody else who was better qualified, and push the needle a little bit further. But we have found ourselves in a situation now where it's too late to do that. And so what are we going to do? We need to go ahead and educate the people that listen. If you want to be able to remove somebody from office by a recall, you have to be a registered voter. We need our people to register to vote. And so we want to politically educate the people. We want to make sure that there are programs in place for our young Black brothers and sisters that they can go ahead and have what is necessary in order to be the creatives that God has called them to be. We believe that it is imperative that those young brothers and sisters who are considered to be overactive, are class clowns, or people who make disruptions and too much noise and this, that, and the other. Do you realize that most of these kids are that way because they're truly artists and they have no way of expressing their art? Because most of the schools within our community, most of the schools within our within the north side don't have these programs anymore. And so these kids don't have any way to express who they are. It is outright ridiculous. We should be ashamed of what is happening in our community. And we have got to find ourselves being responsible for making sure that something different happens. We can't wait on anybody to do it for us anymore. And so we're going to, some people say, well, it's not important for you to talk about all this all this other stuff. You don't need to say that is the oppressor's fault, this, that, and the other. We gotta help us. Well, we are helping us. We're helping us by educating us. Something that our people have been afraid to do for all too long. We're helping us by continuing to push the needle, something that our people are still afraid to do. People get mad at us because we simply won't roll over and fall to whatever it is that they want us to do. Let me make something abundantly clear while I'm here on this live. I don't care what type of threats are sent my way by any organization, by any leader of any organization, local, statewide, or national. Make no mistake. Let me make something abundantly clear. We will, by any means necessary, use whatever power in our resources, our capability, and with every extent of the law, protect ourselves. Not only will we protect ourselves, but we will do so with the people. So make sure that when you make these threats, make sure that when you come against the will of the people, that you are doing so, and you are doing so with all certainty that you can fulfill such, and that you can handle whatever repercussions may come your way. Now, I just wanted to make that statement abundantly clear. I know some people get it twisted because, they see the God that's in me, and they see the ministry in me. They see whatever we do, and they understand that God has done a new thing in me. So I don't handle things the way that I used to. But I'm going to just be clear. Everybody that's in my circle ain't saved. Everybody that's in my family is not saved. And then they don't handle things necessarily like I do. And so I proposed something because we've had to up our security because of threats that have come my way because we refuse to be silent. I proposed something to a family member of mine, and she said, well, if they're going to do what they said they're going to do to you, what they're going to do with the rest of us? And I want you to know this is not a threat to anybody, but we have got to have that same mindset when it comes to what is happening with our people. We have got to have that same intellect, that same willpower, that same fight in us when it comes to the collective of the people. Now, listen, I'm not concerned, worried, or anything about anything that anybody's going to do to me. I've been in this thing for a long time now. I've not just been an activist since the Village 337 was started. And I think that's where some people get me twisted. And I've not just been doing what I've been doing for the last 5 years of my life. I've been doing this pretty much all of my life in some capacity. I've always been a revolutionary. My mother says that when I was in her womb, the doctor went to do one of those tests where my cousin said, yes, Lord. The doctor went to do one of those tests where they were going to test her amniotic fluid. And if you guys have ever seen those needles, they're extremely long. And my mother says that when the needle entered her stomach, I grabbed it with my hand because I must have felt as an infant child, as a baby, inside of my mother's womb, that needle was coming to do damage to me. And so I grabbed it, and my mother says they had to basically slowly and intricately remove the needle out of my grip inside of her womb. So I want you to know that this is not something that I do because I think it's fun. This is not something that I do because I think that it's cute. This is not something that any of us do because we get paid for it. Because, my God, we don't. I'm a full-time activist. I'm a full-time revolutionary. In other words, meaning I don't have the capacity to work on anybody's clock simply because the work that I do is so important. I have to be fully available to it. Now, what does that mean? That means that I have to find creative and innovative ways to make a living. And so as an activist and as a revolutionary, I'm finding creative and innovative ways not only to make a living, but to find resources that we can have in the times of such. Now, Tyron Coates was murdered by the Lafayette Police Department. Do we know the details of what happened yet? No, we don't. Why don't we know the details of what happened yet? Because we have yet to see the body cam footage of it, period. And it is outright disgusting. It is disturbing, to say the least. So we have been advocating for, with his family, for the release of those body cam footages. We're working. to find a civil rights attorney. So if you are someone that you know is connected to a civil rights attorney, excuse me, and they would like to take on this case, please reach out to us. We are doing whatever we can in our power to see to it that this family receives justice. No family should have to go through this at all. No family should have to deal with these injustices as we have had to see them deal with it over and over again at all. It is disheartening. It is disheartening. I'm asking that you would go to the GoFundMe, look up Tyron Coates' name, and that you would donate if you can. And if not, you could donate to Movement 337. That is my Cash App, or you can donate to the PayPal Norman DT13. We have got to, guys. We've got to do better. We've got to do better. There's so many distractions. There's so many things coming to try to keep us from doing what God has called us to do. There's so many people right now that are trying to find themselves being who God has called you to be. You have got to find yourself doing the work of God. The work of God. And so many people are probably saying, well, what does that have to do with anything? What does God have to do with any of this? All of this is God's work. This is God's work. This is God's work. Don't be dismayed. Don't be disgruntled. Don't be confused. Don't be hurt when it happens to you. We have got to realize that we are about to go into a new level. My pastor has been talking about the shift. And so the shift has happened for us as well. The shift has happened for the Village 337. The shift has happened for activism, for the community. But while the shift is happening, it does not mean that we're not going to go through things. It does not mean that the enemy is not going to try to upset the progress. And we can't sit by wondering who's there to support us, hoping that somebody is going to show us some love and support, hoping that somebody understands us while the community is falling apart. Now, I'm going to make something abundantly clear. We have already made up in our minds that everything that we do, we will be consistent, we will be diligent, and we will seek to it that this happens in a fashionable, expedited manner. You guys know that we have worked very, very hard out in the streets, but we've realized now that there is some more work that needs to be done. We have got to be proactive with our community. So the political education program, which we know which will be helped by us by the New Black Panther Party, the People's Political Party, many organizations that people that we've worked with throughout the years, people that we find to be well educated and things of that nature. We have many partners within our community that we are working with. Of course, the Gethsemane Church of God in Christ, which is one of the most educated churches in the world, where we can talk about religious education and things of that nature, and also finding yourself getting some mental health counseling. We're going to talk about the importance of that. We're going to have courses where you can come in and do workshops where you can learn how to sew something, how to give a hem, to some pants that you may need to have hemmed. I'm gonna have my mother teaching some of those workshops. Who Miss So What is the best seamstress / tailor in the land, where we can give kids these skills that they can take on to their lives and they won't feel left behind. Tutoring, which is going to be a very important asset to what we provide in our community, making sure that our kids can come to our community center and they're being tutored by professionals who are safe and who you can trust with your kids. We'll have systems in place to prevent from anything that would happen that, you may feel uncomfortable with. So many people are questioning, well, what's going on with the village? What have you guys been doing? We have been preparing ourselves to do the work that it takes to not only go out and fight in the streets, but to prevent some of these things from happening. We're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about teaching our people how to participate in their government, so that way when these laws are being created to circumvent them from being able to receive anything, they can be aware of it and they can address it. We can put people in place that understand that they work for us. It's time now to remove these elected officials who don't understand that concept. Now, I know many people are saying, well, who do you think you are? You're not qualified to do any of this. Well, what qualifies you? Your degree? Does your degree qualify you? Because if it did, then we'd be on a lot, because there are a lot of Black people with degrees. And we'd be in a lot better position if a lot of them spoke up and said something and did something. So I'm not going to wait until I have a degree, which I will have several by the time it's all said and done. I'm not going to wait until then to do this. We don't have time for that. So we're moving forward. But what qualifies one? Your background? Your history? None of that. None of that qualifies you. No, what qualifies you is your heart and your willingness to learn. Your willingness to learn, your mindset, because you can always be educated if your mindset is right. Are you listening to your leaders? Are you a leader without leadership? Because if you are, I can't follow you. If you don't answer to nobody, why should I answer to you? I respect and honor my leaders because he taught me the importance of having leadership. He taught me the importance of honoring that as such. You have got to find life experience and wisdom. Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not harping on the degrees, because we have to. I honor anyone who found themselves able to sustain through that type of experience and to get that type of certification. But we have got to do better. I'll be shortly announcing the funeral of Tyron Coates as soon as we can help his mother get these arrangements in place. And willingness to learn before leading. That's important. A willingness to learn before leading. And I think when as I'm reading that, I'm thinking of it in the sense that even in your leading, even once you are considered a leader, you have to understand that you're still going to be learning. And if you're not willing to learn as a leader, then that's a problem. And you should sit yourself down. There's so many things going on in the state of Louisiana. And I know I was not able to address it all. And I hope that if you guys had comments, questions, or anything for the next live, that you guys would meet me tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. We're going to be here in the same spot tomorrow at 6:30. And we're going to be talking about these issues, and we're going to be talking about what's happening. I'm hoping that you guys would join me. And that tomorrow when you join me, do me a favor. As a matter of fact, tonight, I want you to get off and go and invite about 3 or 4 people to watch with you tomorrow. I need you also to do me a favor, though. Don't just watch here on Facebook. Go to YouTube at For the Love of Black People. You type that in on YouTube, For the Love of Black People, and my show will come up. The logo, all of the YouTube channel will come up. You'll see this exact recording. And I need you to subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to make a difference. We're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to go. This Wednesday at night at 6 p.m., if you go to the Gethsemane Church of God in Christ Facebook page, you can watch an awesome power-packed Bible study with my pastor, the Bishop Alton E. Gatlin, and my First Lady, the Supervisor Vanessa Winbush Gatlin. And they are going to be given a powerhouse word as usual, discussing not only the word of God, but discussing the issues of our community and how we apply the word to our community. I mean, look at who I am and what I do. Look at what's behind me. You guys think that I could go to a church that doesn't help its community? And then tomorrow at 10 a.m., you can meet me at 317 12th Street. Well, I'll be there at our community center hub, which is the Village 337's hub, where we will be passing out a pantry of food from our food pantry. So at 10 a.m., you can come out, get you some food if you're in the Lafayette area, for you and your family, some groceries. I mean, it's meat, it's various items that you guys, I believe, will truly be blessed by. And so my hopes is that, we can find you guys some resources beyond what we've already been providing through the church with the food pantry. We're going to be starting I hope my team won't get on me for sharing this, but I'm hearing that we're starting a community closet, Dress for Success. And not only dress for success, but dress for every day, where we will be clothing our homeless population. We want them with fresh clothes so that way they can be as fresh as possible. We will give them the resources that they need to, hopefully, we'll be able to at some point provide a shower for them. That's something in the future that we're hoping for. My first lady gonna get on me because she says we're not supposed to share our visions that God has not given us the provision for yet because we don't need people stealing our ideas. But we're in the process of making our community a better place, you guys. And my hope is that we can, and winter wear. So all of your winter clothes that you're going to get rid of after this winter season, send it to the village. We'll store it up and we'll have it prepared for next winter because we want to make sure that our homeless population is very well fed, very well clothed and taken care of. Listen, we don't discriminate. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever you are, we ask that you participate in this movement because it does not matter. At some point, okay, cuz I will definitely do that. Heather, go ahead and get my cousin's information who just commented, so that way, whenever we're prepared to go ahead and take in everything, we can get with them and make sure that everything is squared away and we can get those clothes there. You see, this is it, guys. This is how we continue to move our community forward. We make partnerships with community individuals because you never know when you're going to need us and we never know when we're going to need you. That's how this works. We are the Village 337. All of us, we are all the village. Do me a favor, for those of you that are on, I need you tonight to join with me at 8 p.m. on our Zoom call as we meet with the executive team to discuss the issues within our Community 2022 initiative, and all of the things that are taking place. There's a call to action that we'll be announcing very soon. Governor Edwards, you know what time it is. You know we're coming. I don't know why you thought we wouldn't be, but you know we're coming. And so I'm asking that you be prepared. For those of you who want to join that call tonight, it is our weekly Zoom call. Now we're meeting every Monday night at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, at 8 p.m. We're meeting every Monday night for the month of, for this month, which was January, and the month of February. And then the Village 337 will then go only to having monthly meetings for the entire organization. And then each committee will have meetings bi-weekly. And so we are splitting up our organization into committees. We're splitting up, and so that way people can participate in which portions they want to. Everybody's not going to be on the front lines, right? Everybody can't come out to a protest. But some of you may be able to cook. If you can cook, we need you this Friday. This Friday night, we're doing our pork steak and barbecue chicken sale. Y'all know, let me tell y'all something. The first one, some people texted me and said, listen, I love you. We want to support you. But man, Whoever seasoned them pork steaks was salty. And I must admit, it was me. Whew, I have a heavy hand. And so I got some professional advice and had some professional cooks come in and teach me how to season meat, because we are that willing to invest in our community to make sure that we're providing the best of the best. And so for the second round, last week, we got so many compliments. Hospitals, other businesses who purchased plates. One hospital purchased 28 plates. And do you know that they all came back with positive reviews? So we are asking that if you would continue to partner with us. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for partners. Do me a favor. Dasha, I know you're still in there. Sharnella, I know you're still in there. All of our people who were here, do me a favor, Christians. Do me a favor. We need you here. We need you to not only join the lives, but we need you within the meetings. We need you in the meetings. It's a Zoom call. You don't have to show your face. Just put your name on the Zoom, put a little picture, a cute pic. But we need your presence. We need your input. We need you to know what's going on with the community on a personal level. And so my hope is that we can, if Ange and Heather, if I could get you guys, if you're on still, and if Kennedy's on, do me a favor, reach out to them, get them on. Let's get them in this meeting tonight as we discuss our call to action. As we're going to of course, as y'all already know, we're going to probably be knocking on somebody's door, because that's what we do. We show up. And for anybody who got a problem with us showing up, we'll be in the city. So we do show up. Okay, the Zoom number is going to be sent to your DM, because thank you so much for joining. We're gonna be so excited to have you. And so we do show up. And my cousin Dashell, y'all make sure Dashell gets it as well. Oh my God, the love, the love, the love. I want to make sure everybody's in this Zoom call, because guess what? Guess what? You can be here. You can be on Facebook. You can do all of that. Angela, it might be better. I don't know if they'll be able to copy it. It seems like you can still copy and paste. It might be better for you to DM them, because I don't know if you can get that, if those links will just go ahead and send that to them in the DM, because the links might not actually work on the comments. Oh, look, Tommy says sends it to him as well. It does work. Okay, I see. What's going on, Tommy? I didn't know you were in here, man. For those of you who don't know who Tommy McLaughlin the third is, his father was Tommy McLaughlin Jr., and he was murdered. I believe it was by the Shreveport City Police. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we spoke on his murder as well. We were invited to go out there by Brecca Peoples, who, of course, as you guys know, is going through grief right now with her own family. So we're praying for them. And so his father was murdered by he says correct, by the Shreveport City Police. They put a bag over his head, y'all. Oh my God, you guys have to go and see what happened to him. And so I think one of the team members, Tommy, if you can go ahead and post in the comments. I don't know if you can, a link to the article. Please, by all means, do that. You guys, we cannot stay silent about any of this. And it's just so disheartening to me. So Tommy, we appreciate you for your support. We're excited to see everybody on. Ange, Heather, let's make sure, Calvin, let's make sure we have because we have a very, very special thing that's going to be taking place today. Our executive team, our executive board will be voting on a new board member. And I don't even know if he is aware of it or knows it, but I did speak with the rest of the executive team, and we will be voting to add a new board member. So we will be excited to make that announcement coming shortly. Listen, we're getting the business together, and we are making sure that we are shored up in order to make sure that we can be efficient and effective for the people. So guys, join me tonight at 8 p.m. I know I said I was going to get off at 7:30, but I mean, when you start talking about this work and you start talking about the things that are taking place, I get a little bit anxious. A coon came on to TikTok and told me I needed to stop taking energy drinks. And I said, whew, that's a compliment. Because if you know my story, hey God, thank you. If you know my story, you would understand why I am the way that I am in this current state. 31 days. 31 days. I'm not yet ready to give the testimony. But if you know, you know. 31 days. I'm excited about the energy that I have. I'm excited about what God has done for me, and I cannot wait to tell the story. But I got a little bit longer in me to go, because there are some things that people want you to fail at. And I know that this is one of those things. There are people waiting for me to say I slipped up and I messed up. But I am so excited about what God is doing in my life. But I'm so disheartened and angry about what's happening in the world and in the community. So there's a mixture of emotions there that's taking place. And but I found myself saying, listen, we're going to stay diligent, steadfast, unmovable, abounding in the word of God. Let me get out of here, y'all. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you who have joined on. Ange, Heather, let's make sure that we got all of our people joining into the Zoom tonight. Let's make sure that we are doing what is necessary for our community. Tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. At 8:15 p.m. If you are an activist, if you are a revolutionary, please reach out. Please don't reach out to me. I got too many DMs and calls. But Angela and Heather have been working on making sure that, and our secretary, Heather and Kennedy, and Angela has kind of been helping with that. She's the vice president. But they have been working to make sure that we have as many partners as possible on these calls. If you are an activist, if you have an activism group, we need you on this call tomorrow night. We will make sure that it's a closed call. So yes, we will be screening, because I'm making this announcement right now. We will be screening who's coming on and who's not on. So not on the village this call tonight, but tomorrow night, this one will be one where you will have to show your face to join on. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So please, tomorrow night, if you are an activist, a revolutionary, somebody who wants to participate in the action, the call to action that we have started to facilitate to our state capitol, I need you to reach out to someone on my team, Angela, Heather, Kennedy, or Angela, Heather, Kennedy, or Kelvin can go ahead and get you that information to that link. Okay, we're going to send you out the Zoom link. If you please, this is not a Zoom link that you would send out to anyone who is not considered an activist or a revolutionary, somebody that you know is just a lay person. We don't want the information to be miscommunicated. And so therefore, we want only those organizers, those people who are key holders in organizing across the state, to be involved in this call. So please, please, please hear me. We are galvanizing our community and our state to a wonderful call to action, and we're hoping that you would be mindful of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again, thank you again. I'm going to attempt to play my song as we leave out, and I thank each and every one of you for joining on to this wonderful call, this wonderful live session that we've had today. My hope and my prayer is that God would continue to cover us all, that God would continue to keep us despite everything that is happening. You guys remember, it's not a moment, it's a movement.
All across the South and all over the country, we're hurting. If you heard about Alton Sterling, Trayvon Cumberland, or Ronald Greene, please know that God will see us through. We just can't give up, y'all. Keep fighting. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and He will see you through. So test the faith. I know you are strong. Just hold on. Brothers are dying and sisters are too. Children all over the place just can't get through. But hold on, just be strong. Don't you be afraid of all that's going on. The Lord will see you through. I know He must come through, 'cause He said it's in his will. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and he will see you through. It's a test of faith. I know you are strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and he will see you through. It's a test of faith. I know you're strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. Police brutality has got us all abroad. Place supposed to be happier than us. How can we go on if everybody's all in a fuss? About the color of my skin, it belongs to us. No matter what you're going through, put your faith in God and he will see you through. I know you're strong. Just hold on. It won't be long. It's a test of faith. I know you're strong. Just hold on. It won't be long.